Hello, people! Welcome back to another video by your good friend Chad Marco, the Big Anarchy. So, before I get started, molest the like button real fast, and we have some good gossip today. So, if you guys don't know, there's a podcaster slash hip hop sort of figurehead slash porn star named Adam22. Now, I primarily know Adam from the podcast that he does. He's the leader of the No Jumper Ship campaign platform, and it's known for interviewing a lot of guys in the hip hop rap industry, also porn stars and pimps. Kevin Samuels was interviewed by them. I've seen him interview some transsexuals. I think it kind of started primarily as a hip hop interview platform, but it's kind of expanded beyond that. Pretty solid podcast and show and whatnot, but Adam22, he's not just a podcaster, he also does porn on the side. And there's been a lot of controversy recently because his wife, who he recently married, is also a porn star, but up until this point she's only been doing lesbian porn. But recently she did a scene with a male porn star named Jason Love. I believe that's his name. You might know him from Blacked. He's one of the main characters from the Black anime. But so the reason why this whole thing kind of has become controversial and everybody's talking about it is because, you know, now everybody's calling Adam22 a cuck, because he allowed his porn star wife to have sex with a big dick black man. So I've seen so many different takes and opinions on this, and I'm gonna give my own, but I'm also kind of try to cover different perspectives that I've seen as far as this whole situation. Now, I've seen some people say that, well, she's a porn star, so what does it matter? I would say marrying a porn star to begin with, kind of sketchy in of itself. Whether you're a woman or a man, I think like to me, that's a recipe for issues. I think what helps their situation is that they're both in the industry. And I think that up until now, the fact that she only did lesbian porn, people didn't look at Adam22 like he was a bitch ass beta cuck dude the way they look at him now. Because I think your girl fooling around with other girls it's not seen as being like a cuck situation. It's not seen as being like a threat to your position in a relationship and your masculinity, because you're the only one providing dick to her. She can go get slick some pussy and scissor or whatever, but you're the dick provider. And so I think really what it comes down to is just that men are not threatened by women sexually because they can't provide what we can provide. And quite frankly, a lot of guys, they think it's hot and it opens up the door for threesomes and whatnot. So, people don't really stress over that. So I think her already being a porn star is kind of, that doesn't make it much better, because she was doing lesbian porn. Like it's a big jump between. It's kind of like, I've heard some girls say in the industry, like they will lie to their parents and say, I only do girl scenes. So stuff like that kind of shows you that there's a difference between how you're perceived as a woman if you're doing just girl scenes versus actually getting gang banged by dudes. But also, my personal opinion, when I look at this, the first thing that came to my mind was, why did he do this? You have no reason. You have no reason to do this. And I think I had tweeted out recently, I said, there is no reason or benefit for a man to allow another man to have sex with his girl unless he is a beta or a cuck. Because you're seeing examples of this, right? Like kind of like Destiny. Destiny is another example of a guy who's married to a woman and they're in like an open marriage where she can have sex with other men. And I've seen some people try to justify it like, oh, but he has sex with other women, so But again, to me, that doesn't change anything, because when you look at guys like Destiny or Adam22, no matter what you might think about them as far as like their views and whatnot, these guys are motherfucking bosses. Like they are wealthy, they're successful, and they have status. They don't have to settle for any sort of arrangement or situation where a woman is going to be having sex with other men. It's just, it doesn't make any sense unless you are a cuck. And when I say that, I'm not saying it as an insult. I don't give a fuck about dudes being into cuck shit. It is what it is. But I think it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever for guys in that position to allow their girl to do anything like that. And it's funny because when Adam22 was talking about this on his podcast, and he had this black guy up there and somebody else, like this chubby black guy, I forgot his name. But it was funny because he said the same thing that I was thinking, and he said that Adam, like, you ain't got like why you do that? You ain't got no reason. you ain't got to be doing that. And that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, dude, like, you have no reason whatsoever to do that unless it's coming from a beta, unless it's coming from some sort of like beta mentality, or you are a cuck. And so the reason why I say you don't have any reason to do this is because it kind of goes back to what we see a lot of guys talking about as far as like this whole high value man thing, where, and I think even Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, would talk about this, where he would say, you know, women have to sort of accept that if they get with a high value man, they're going to cheat. Like, there's this whole push for acceptance, for women to accept that high value men are going to have multiple women and cheat and all this and that. Now, I'm not necessarily for that, but I think what the reality simply is that a lot of women are it's kind of like there are some women who are comfortable with their man having sex with other women, the same way there are men who are comfortable with their girl having sex with other women. It's kind of like this thing that goes both ways. Usually it's just when it's having sex with other men, that's when it's an issue. But there are a lot of women who don't stress over it because they feel like the value of being the main chick for a high value man outweighs him being free to have sex with other women. Now, all women are not like this. And again, I'm not saying that it's okay. I think that it's whatever, as long as you make that clear from the jump. And so my whole point is just that's the kind of position that Adam22 is in. And see, what proves my point is that his girl didn't just do this on a whim. She asked him, she consulted him on whether or not she would do this. She suggested it, but ultimately she gave him the final say so, and he allowed it. He allowed it. And see, this is my biggest concern about this whole situation. It's not the fact that Adam is a cuck. That's whatever. I think the biggest issue here is that I believe he just failed the biggest shit test of his motherfucking life. He failed the biggest shit test of his motherfucking life. I just released the Patrice O'Neal Philosophy Podcast. Check it out. It's on Rumble. I gotta wait to put it on YouTube because I'm striked up right now, but whatever. And I keep thinking back to what Patrice O'Neal talked about when he said how women will go out of their way to basically turn their men into weak little bitch ass betas. And Rollo Tomasi, he talks about this as well. He calls it death by 1,000 concessions. And what this phenomenon is that when a man gets into a relationship with a woman, she makes suggestions that seem innocent, but are ultimately about taking your masculinity away step by step, bit by bit by bit. It's usually not something as extreme as what we're seeing with Adam22, but I believe personally, when you look at how she suggested it, yet gave him the option of preventing her from doing it. So the fact that she did that, the fact that she gave him the final say so, that's what sets off the alarm. Even the fact that she suggested it, but then to give him the say, it's like she gave him a chance to pass the test. That's what I think. That's how because this is the thing. Just like what that guy said on his podcast, when Adam22 told him, you don't have to do this. You ain't got to do this. His wife understands this too. He has no reason, reason to allow her to do it, but he did. And so I think that when it comes right down to it, they can laugh, they can smile about it. Oh, I'm so comfortable with my masculinity in our relationship. I can let black men have sex. Fuck all that. I don't care. At the end of the day, she has less respect for Adam22 because he allowed this. I don't care what nobody say. That's facts. She has less respect for this man because he let a big black giga nigga bust up in his girl. I'm telling you. Adam20, the crime here, the crime is not that he is a cuck. Is that he failed the biggest shit test of his life by allowing this shit. It's not cool. This ain't masculine. This ain't gangster. This ain't masculine. It's none of that. This is beta cuck shit. Hey, look, I don't care. I'm just saying, let's call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. Your homie's not gonna respect you over this shit. Your wife not gonna respect you. Like just use your common sense. No, but like you don't get no points for this. And you had and see, I heard somebody say that, cause I was in a thread talking about this shit. And I said, there's no reason or benefit for him to do this. And somebody responded and said that the benefit is that because of the controversy and all that, they're gonna make a lot of money off the video. I say bullshit. The money is irrelevant because he already got money. Remember what I said and what the other guy said. You got no reason to do this. See, I'll put it like this. We all know that because of OnlyFans and whatnot, it's opened up the doors for like a lot of women to sort of prostitute themselves comfortably. And especially if they got a name. Look at somebody like Bad Bobby, or there are a couple other girls in the industry who have like these softcore OnlyFans and whatnot, basically prostituting themselves, right? To get their money up. Now, why is it that you don't see most celebrity chicks doing this? It's only a few who will actually go to that point. Even if it's softcore, they're still basically prostituting themselves. Now, why won't most celebrity chicks do that? Because ultimately it's not worth it, because they already got bread. When you already got money, you have very little reason to prostitute yourself like that, to whore yourself out like that, to trade your dignity for finances. And so what I'm saying, whatever money they get from this is irrelevant compared to the respect that is lost, the dignity that is lost, and the damage that it's going to do ultimately to their relationship because of the loss of respect that I believe she's going to develop towards Adam because of him allowing this. Remember, death by 1,000 concessions. Rolo Tomasi, or in the words of Patrice O'Neal, she go beta your ass up. She go bitch your ass up, and that's what's happening. And so that's why I don't care about how much money is gonna make them. He already got money. I mean, look, Lil Wayne, think about how much money Lil Wayne could make doing gay porn or some shit. But he not gonna do it because he don't need to do no stupid shit like that. He already got bread. When you got money, you ain't gotta do goofy. Even Lil Nas X wouldn't do gay porn. I don't think he would, because he already got bread. He ain't gotta put himself out there like that. So what I'm saying is the money don't matter, bro. When you already got money, you're not gonna trade your dignity. Well, most people not gonna trade their dignity to get most money. Most girls in porn start doing porn. Why? Because they're broke. Because they're like college age. They got $50,000 to $100,000 in college debt, and they want to go to LA. They want to be famous. They want to get most girls get into it because they are broke in the first place. whoring is a broke nigga profession. So the money they get don't matter to me. Because if the money was so important, you would see more guys out here pimping their girls out like that. But once you get to a certain, I mean, look, if it's a side chick that you're not married to, that's one thing. But when it's your wife, the mother of this is his wife, the mother of his child. that's when like my ears pop up. And I'm like, hold up, this is some strange behavior. But again, I must reiterate, I'm not trying to shame Adam, because I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, like ha, he's a cuck. I don't care. Like it's a fetish thing, whatever. That's whatever to me. But I think the bigger issue, like I said, is that I think this is not good for his relationship. I don't think that this is going to have any sort of beneficial, real benefit towards his relationship. Now, I will say this, because I always believe that the primary reason for an open relationship where the woman is allowed to have sex with other men is that really it's a strong indication that she's not sexually satisfied within the relationship. And that in of itself is a big red flag. Like I've always said, I believe that Will Smith and Jada would be divorced right now if they didn't open their relationship. If Will Smith did not allow Jada to quench her thirst for big dick thug nigga sex, the marriage would not have lasted, because Will Smith is not her natural type. So she needed all those years of having to deal with that boring beta type sex. She needed to get that scratch that itch for big dick thug nigga sex, you know. And I believe that's why their marriage has survived, but at what cost? Look at the string of humiliations Will Smith has had to deal with and tolerate as a result of that. So even though I think it can keep a couple together, I just don't think that it's good for the relationship in of itself. And then on top of that, I think there's a great chance that the relationship is going to fall out because of the loss of respect. Jada don't respect Will Smith. So let me tell you right now, she don't respect him. And I guarantee you that regardless of what Adam22's wife would say, I guarantee you she has lost respect for this man. And that's, to me, that's why I would never suggest, I don't care how comfortable you are with your sexuality, I don't care, man. I don't like, you ain't gotta prove shit, bro, as far as how, I'm not insecure. Dude, fuck that. It's not good for the relationship. It's not good, because she's going to lose respect for you over that shit. It's not worth it. Unless you just like that shit, unless you just a cuck and you like watching black men fuck your wife, they like, don't be one of these dudes that's just like, I just don't care, I'm a free spirit, fuck that shit. It's not worth it. It's just simply not worth it. And I think that's the worst thing about this whole situation, is that he's probably done irreparable damage to his relationship, because he allowed a big ass giga nigga nigga saying Ultra Instinct, Gear 5, Bankai. Man, I swear. Man, like, just let this dude just walk into his space and fuck the shit out of his girl. Like, there's nothing good can come from this. Nothing good. That's the problem. Nothing good can come from this. My suggestion: don't do it. Don't ever do no shit like that. Don't ever do no shit like that, bro. Like, just be a boss. Just be the boss that you are, bro. If you got money, you a high value man, you got no reason to do that shit. You can find you a chick who gonna let you fuck other girls, and then and before I stop, because somebody else suggested this too. And I think this is probably might be a factor, but I heard somebody say that it might be swingers guilt. And the way they described it was that basically they believe that Adam felt as if because he was free to fuck all these girls, that it would only be right for his girl to be able to have sex with a man. So it's like a guilty conscience thing where it's like, if I can do it, she should. But again, I think that the mistake of thinking like that is that the expectations of a man of a woman is the same as of a woman for a man. And so from her perspective, Adam having sex with other women isn't as big of a deal as her having sex with other men for Adam. And even on top of that, from her perspective, there's gonna be a loss of respect for Adam. And so that's why you can't get caught up thinking like that. If she allows it and she's cool with it, then you gotta roll with it. I'm not one of those guys that's gonna say you should cheat and all that. But if you say, hey, look, this is what it is, find you a girl who just okay with it if that's how you want to roll. Just do that. Don't feel like, yo, I do it, so fuck that shit. Be a boss, be a pimp. Do not do it. But that was my take on that whole situation. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And I will see you guys later. See ya.